I also asked Alan Webb to say a few words. And for those of you, just by way of introduction, as you're coming up, Alan, um, my dad set the American record of 3:55.3 as an 18-year-old. That was, of course, the high school record. And it was one of those things where people forget that it was about 10 years before that the 4-minute mile had been broken for the first time. And then you had a high schooler break it, Jim Ryun, then he runs a 3:55 in high school, and people are thinking, this record might never be broken. And it wasn't broken for over 3 decades. And then all of a sudden this phenom, out of Northern Virginia, by the way, starts running really fast mile times, and we're thinking, well, he's gonna break 4 minutes, but is he really gonna break my dad's record? Probably not. Then he goes up to the Prefontaine Classic and just 3:53, 43. Breaks it by almost 2 seconds. It was just incredible. That all of a sudden this record that had stood for 36 years, and Alan goes up and runs the 3:53, and people are like, this is a record we thought would never be broken. And Alan went on to run in the Olympics, American record holder in the mile, 143 and a half. Yeah, went on to become one of the great international milers. So I thought it'd be fun if Alan, if you just said a few words, just about your interaction with my dad and kind of that breaking of the high school record.
Well, Jim, you were obviously a role model for me on the track, and I could probably talk a lot about the track stuff, but I like to pivot a little bit and say that, well, number one, I think it was the track that beat your record, because you were running on the cinders, and considering with all the shoe stuff coming out, I'm like, I still think that was probably more of it than me. So that'll be my track quote from that, but or a track talk. But I'd really like to say thank you for doing something for me that was bigger than track, and even bigger than politics. And I think it's so perfect that you got this award today, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And I'm glad you gave me a little warm up, because you said, you called it the muck. And real freedom is the freedom from sin. And what you did for me after I broke your record was that you encouraged me to pursue my faith in Jesus. And that's a gift that is worth more than any record, any medal, anything on this earth. That's what you did for me. You did that. You encouraged me. And now that I have family, and my new goal after all the running was over was I want to go to heaven. And with all of everything that's going on right now, there's so much fear about when all of our times are going to end here on the earth, and not enough focus on the eternity, and where we go with that. And you did that for me. And since then I've grown a lot in my faith, and I joined the Catholic Church 3 years ago, and every day there's the readings from the Gospel, and I just like to read the reading from today. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Today's reading is from the book of Matthew, by the way.
Matthew likes that.
I didn't realize that until I just saw that. I was like, oh, that's perfect. So, a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "Hear the parable of the sower. The seed sown on the path is the one who hears the word of the kingdom without understanding it. And the evil one comes and steals away what was sown in his heart. The seed sown on rocky ground is the one who hears the word and receives it at once with joy. But he has no root and lasts only for a time. When some tribulation or persecution comes because of the word, he immediately falls away. The seed sown among thorns is the one who hears the word, but then worldly anxiety and the lure of riches choke the word, and it bears no fruit. But the seed sown on rich soil is the one who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields 100 or 60 or 30-fold. The gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen. So when I read that this morning, the last line, it says 100 or 60 or 30-fold. My vote is that Jim Ryun gets the 100-fold. Thank you, Jim, for encouraging me in my faith. Thank you, really.
So, Alan, thank you for your comments. Now, one of the things that we did when Alan was running is that I signed a Bible to you. And what have you done with that?
Well, when Drew broke my indoor record, I signed it and I gave it to Drew.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.